Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your very first time watching me. Today is a pretty exciting day because we have a pretty decent sized manga haul. I think there's around 50 volumes or so that I have to show you, all of which are actually used manga that I was able to find at various places for pretty good bargains. But yeah, a little fun fact about me before we jump on into this. I actually never used to buy used manga for whatever reason. I think it's just because I've always just been so particular about the condition of my manga and how they look. And so I've always been kind of scared to buy used manga. But, as I've gotten older and, the hobby of collecting manga has just gotten a lot more expensive in general, I've kind of learned to not worry about that quite as much. And so I've been buying quite a bit of used manga lately, and it's actually been super nice because I've learned that just because manga is used doesn't mean that it's always in terrible condition. But yeah, we have about 50 volumes to go through, so let's just hop right into this, shall we? All right, so I think I'm going to start off with the eBay purchases. eBay has definitely become one of my favorite places to buy used manga and just manga in general. You can find a lot of different mangas on there for pretty good prices, and you can also find a lot of out of print manga on eBay as well. Speaking of out of print manga, I have volume 3 of We Were There. We Were There is one of my all time favorite manga series of all time, but unfortunately, a lot of the volumes are out of print, so it's a very difficult series to collect, but I'm slowly trying to collect it in full. So I have volume 3, which is great, and it's in pretty good condition. It's used, but has a little bit of a ding at the bottom, but it's fine. So very happy to have that in my collection. Next up, we have Merupuri, volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Merupuri is by the same mangaka as Vampire Knight, Matsuri Hino. And yeah, I already own the first volume, so I'm going to give this one to a friend just because I already have it. But yeah, I read the first volume like forever ago, back when I was in like junior high, and I remember liking it. I just had never gotten around to buying the rest of them. So yeah, very happy to have these in my collection. All right, so now we're going to get into the manga that I purchased off Facebook Marketplace. And Facebook Marketplace is actually a super great resource for finding used manga because there's a ton of people selling manga on there that just want to get rid of stuff. So they usually have their stuff listed for pretty cheap. For example, I got the first 8 volumes of Komi Can't Communicate for like 20 bucks, which is a super good deal. So yeah, here's volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And yeah, Komi Can't Communicate is actually a series I never really had any intention of buying, but when I saw it for that price, I was like, you know what, I might as well. It's super popular. I'm just not the biggest fan of the art style for whatever reason, and usually it's kind of hard for me to get into a series if I don't really like the art. But I'll give it a try, and hopefully I'll like it. If I don't, I'll just resell it for cheap, and someone else can find use for it. Alright, so these next few manga are also from Facebook Marketplace, and you guys, I literally struck gold with these. I was somehow able to find Kami-sama Kiss volumes 1, 7, 9, 14, and 24, all for $2 a piece, which is just such a crazy good deal. I absolutely could not pass this up. I love Kami-sama Kiss and really want to have the whole thing in my collection, so this was super helpful. One downside is that volume 24 does have a tiny crease in the cover, but for $2, I really can't complain, and it's not too noticeable. So yeah, super duper excited about these. I actually already own the first volume, so this will also be going to a friend of mine. But yeah, never rule out Facebook Marketplace because you can find some absolute steals on there. Alright, so I found these next few volumes at a local used bookstore, and local used bookstores are always super great for finding manga. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, the ones near me don't tend to have manga in stock very often, but sometimes you'll get lucky, like I did, and I was able to find the whole entire series of Chobits actually for, like, I think around, like, $15, $16, something like that, which is a super good deal, I think. But yeah, they're in these original Tokyo Pop editions, which is kind of cool. They're pretty beat up, unfortunately, and they smell like old book, but I don't mind. The owner said that they had been sitting there for like 3 years and no one had bought them, so I felt bad. I was like, you know what? I will adopt you. You can come home with me because I've always wanted to read Chobits. I know, shocking. I've never read or watched Chobits ever. I think I tried to watch the anime back when I was a little kid, but I got to a certain scene near the beginning of the series that kind of made me feel uncomfortable, so I stopped watching. I'm sure those of you who have read or seen Chobits know what scene I'm talking about. But yeah, when I saw this, I couldn't pass it up. So yeah, got volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the most beat up volume. It's definitely pretty haggard, but that's all right. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, this is also actually my very first Clamp series that I have in my collection now, so that's super exciting. Super excited to read this. I absolutely love Clamp's art style, so very, very excited to have this in my collection. So these next 7 volumes I got for like an absolute steal. A local store near me was going out of business, and they had books and manga there, and since they were just wanting to get rid of their inventory, they were selling all the books and manga for like literally 15 cents a piece, 50 cents a piece. Some of them were cheaper. So I managed to get the entire series of A Silent Voice for like a little over $1, which is absolutely insane. I've wanted to have this series in my collection for a very long time. I've heard nothing but good things about it. So super excited for this. Got volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Absolutely beautiful cover. Love the artwork of this series. And 7. So yeah, if you guys have any like stores that sell books in your area that happen to go out of business, unfortunately, that's a really good way to get manga or books or anything in general for super cheap, because usually the businesses are just trying to get rid of their inventory, so they'll sell stuff for super cheap. So keep an eye out for businesses going out of business. Super sad when it happens, but sometimes you can get some pretty good deals because of it. All right, last but certainly not least, we have Death Note volumes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Absolutely love this cover. Elle looks so adorable on it. Love it. Favorite character in the whole series. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I was actually able to get these Death Note volumes for essentially free. I actually made a trade with a good friend of mine, Britt Hallis. I'll have her YouTube channel linked below in the description. But yeah, she was wanting to get rid of her Death Note volumes just because she wanted to collect the newer black editions. And I've always wanted to have the Death Note manga in my collection. I already have the first volume. I know a lot of people say that like the manga is super boring compared to the anime, but you know, I still wanted it in my collection, and I actually really love. I know a lot of people prefer the like new black editions, and I do agree that those look really nice, but I don't know, there's something about these covers, these older covers, that are just super nostalgic. So super to have these in my collection. Thank you to Britt for making a trade with me. I gave her my anime Samurai 7 in trade for this. So yeah, thank you, Britt, for making that trade. I will have Britt's channel linked below if you want to go check her out. She used to make a lot of anime and manga content back in the day, but nowadays she kind of makes more content centered around writing and her journey of hopefully becoming a full-time creative. So if that sounds interesting to you, go check her out. She has a book that she just came out with not too long ago. So yeah, definitely go check her out. And yeah, that does it for today's manga haul. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. Also, big thank you to those of you who have decided to subscribe. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys in my next video. See ya.